Silent mode is now on so that nobody can hear my phone.
So no one can hear you scream.
Well, I don't care if they hear me scream.
Yeah, the guy at the dealership who was selling me the car is a Doom fan, so we got talking about the show. He wants to check it out.
I had a patient that came in with a Biggie Smalls t-shirt on today.
Well, the movie...
We were talking about the show.
The movie dropped today, and I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet because, one, I had a refrigerator delivered, and then, two, I went and bought a car.
Well, goddamn, brother, spend that money like you own it.
This
is not patron money, by the way.
No. There's very little of that. But, we should be getting a payday here shortly. All right.
Share.
I'm going to hit the 30-second countdown.
Right post. It's that time again. A little later than usual. But
we've got 5 people who are here and okay with us being late. Yes, Gail, I will probably get to that at some point as to why we're late. And if I do not, I will explain it to you later. All right, 30-second countdown, and then the let's get it countdown. So let's do that with a Shree. Who's your mama?
She guessed. This week on the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast, we bring you Yo Returns, East, West, No South, Wendy Williams Car Rentals, a new artist of the month, and the Twitter question of who the fuck is Black Thought? What else? Let's listen.
It's not just any day. It's Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Now a witness trend, street now.
It's a count of three. I want y'all to tell me the name of my 1, 2, 3. And now, here's your host, Bill Winters, and Mr. Throwback Thursday himself, James Robbins.
Hello, how are you? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 370, coming at you live and direct from New York and Virginia. Bill up in New York, Jamie down in Virginia. How are you, my friend?
I am well. I'm mentally exhausted.
I can imagine that. I am physically in pain, so we're a great pair tonight.
That's better than being physically exhausted and mentally in pain, I suppose.
I've been both of those too.
Yes.
But I have coffee, so
as do I, as always. And
I went with old school.
Chad said it's the first time he's seen the 35-second countdown. Well, you got to be here early for that.
Yes, Gail, Bill's in uniform.
So am I.
And you know what? Yeah, I'm waiting for mine to arrive. Jamie is rocking the new Roll Call TBT Teespring t-shirt.
Yeah, I can't totally show you the back because my chair's in the way.
We get the idea.
Should be familiar with that logo by now.
That is a rather familiar logo for most people here.
Yes.
I'm just happy that it's a blue uniform and not a green one because last week, as Richie Shook so eloquently put it, you got bricks for your neck.
Brick neck.
That was funny.
But yeah, we're a little bit delayed, and the only people who know that are the people who are watching live. Everyone who's listening on Thursday is going, what do you mean you're late? You're there whenever I tell you to be there.
Because you are on demand.
That
is what the odd of podcasts stands for.
Playable on demand.
Cast.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, physically in pain. Made it through today.
I thought you said you made it through the rain.
Refereed a high school hockey game last night. Got drilled in my left foot by about an 80-mile-an-hour slap shot right after I dropped the puck. So that was fun.
Drop the puck. It's time to go.
I was convinced I broke it, man. I really was.
I was telling you before. I said that's what comes with age. When you go,
because what happened
no,
was
I broke it.
It hit and immediately hurt, and then it went numb, and then about 5 minutes later, started to hurt again.
And John asked earlier if he won something.
Yes, I know.
Last show, and I put it in the mail today. By the way, there's an extra special surprise in it in your Death Wish prize pack.
There's about 14 different things I could say there, but I'm not gonna.
You could say
I like 3 hard dicks a lot,
but why would you say that here?
Because everybody already knows that. Thanks to you.
I didn't say it.
Let's do that hockey. No, I don't say that. I do in close games. When I drop the puck for the third period, I usually tell both centers, "Okay, boys, let's bring it home," and then we go from there. But otherwise, no. I'm usually just taking crap from kids. I was afraid when I took my skate off last night that my foot was going to blow up like a busted can of biscuits.
Or that you couldn't get it off because you didn't have them tight enough to start with.
No, I'm quite the opposite. I choke my feet. Mm-hmm. I tie my skates tighter than pretty much anybody. But, it's not broken. It's just a little sore.
So we won't fix it.
And I hobbled around on it, and eventually it'll heal itself. I mean, like every other injury I've had from that, it heals itself. So
let's follow the list.
We have Jamie and Bill, which is us.
We're here.
We have hip hop headlines.
Yep.
We have Woo News.
Yep. I wasn't putting both records in here. It would have been a long shirt.
Yeah. In between, we have One and Done and Record of the Week. They did not make the roll call shirt.
They did not.
And then we have Bill Reads Lyrics, which did make the roll call shirt. And then, of course, the posse is last, but the posse is really first.
Yes.
So
all of this stuff adds up to the posse.
Yes. That's well.
And we have fresh flicks this week because and we have a new artist of the month this week.
We do, because it is March of 2021. Marcha. You do that every year.
I do. Maybe he's gonna be the picture for our show this week.
I wouldn't expect anything else.
Marcha.
I wouldn't expect anything else. So, and we actually have quite a bit of hip hop headlines. So I would assume we should probably get it going, especially since we started a little later than usual. So would you please be so kind to hit me with a little of that Triple H?
This is Hip Hop Headline brought to you by Throwback Thursday.
We'll get on it. It's your time.
My toin will start with hiphopdx.com and an article you have entitled "No Reboots."
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this because
I'm a little
okay. 2 years ago? 3 years ago? When did I go to Yo?
3
years ago. I'm looking around because there's an envelope with a ticket in it here somewhere that I was not prepared to pull out. But anyway,
2018. I'm pretty sure
it may have been
3 years this year.
And there was talk at that time of reviving Yo MTV Raps.
Revival is not a reboot.
It is not. But that. Because I believe I asked Greg and Smooth B about it in our little interview that I did with them, about how they felt about it coming back because it was supposed to. But then there was nothing. No mention of anything, and then this pops up, This was one of two things that popped up in my news feed, by the way. The rest is all legwork.
Yeah, stuff you had to dig up.
Yeah.
So Hip Hop DX says that the iconic hip hop series Yo MTV Raps is to be revived, just not on MTV.
Well, that's good because MTV doesn't show videos anymore. So this kind of makes sense.
Yo MTV Raps was required viewing for any hip-hop loving kid between 1988 and 1995. Originally hosted by Fab Five Freddy, the network eventually hired Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, no accent.
Actually, originally hosted by Run DMC. They only did one episode, but...
Right. To helm the iconic music video show. Every episode, they would air the biggest acts from the golden era and often interview them on set, from Run DMC and Public Enemy to Queen Latifah and the Beastie Boys. According to a recent article in, I believe it was Deadline. Yes, Deadline. Yo MTV Raps is making a comeback, but not on MTV. I wonder what they're going to title it. They can't necessarily title it MTV Raps if it's not on MTV, can they?
I don't know. It all depends on who owns what names and who owns what companies. And
that could be. Well, it's going to be on Paramount Plus, the new streaming service.
So does Paramount own MTV?
I thought Viacom did. Does Paramount own Viacom?
Who knows? You're getting up in the stratosphere above.
Yeah, I was going to say we up in the high rent district where you and I do not dwell.
No, we're in Walt Disney area. That's
the show
well out of my reach.
Show will air on Paramount Plus with hosted segments, live performances, and hip hop lifestyle content. It joins the previously announced return of VH1's Behind the Music.
Well, those are owned by the same people.
Partner. We are thrilled to reinvent some of our most storied and impactful music franchises, including Behind the Music and Yo MTV Raps for Paramount Plus, said Viacom CBS President of Music, Talent, Programming, and Events, Bruce Gilmer. So I'm assuming it's all under that umbrella.
Yeah.
In addition,
Christopher Kinsley said CBS, so Viacom CBS.
Cozy TV Raps, John said. Get away with it. That's what I thought. I thought Paramount and NBC were the same company.
But it said Viacom and CBS were the entity. So
Viacom CBS owns MTV, according to the research department.
Thank you, research department. And I'm glad that she's here tonight.
In addition, we will partner with some of the biggest names across the music industry to bring exclusive and unique content to the platform, such as Dave Grohl's Cradle to Stage, based on his mom's critically acclaimed book, and many more to come. What if they go and bring back Cribs?
Hosted by Redman.
That would be great.
It would.
I would watch that. While no further details about the revamped show were available, one thing's for certain. It doesn't involve Dr. Dre or Ed Lover. Hip Hop DX reached out to Dre, who confirmed, "I am not involved with the Yo MTV Raps revival, not at all. But there are other opportunities and things coming to fruition." Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, when concerts were still a thing, Yo MTV Raps held a special 30th anniversary show at Brooklyn's Barclays Center in June of 2018. So there's your answer. It was 3 years ago.
I really do want to find out where the hell it went.
Of the Yo MTV Raps 30th anniversary experience, as things start falling off of my computer.
As the walls come tumbling down.
Yep. Stupid cat.
Oh, those are hip hop stamps. Those are not it.
Those are not it. Get out, cat.
Ah, here it is. You can't turn there. There's a pole there.
Hole there. Fredman shoebox, Chad says. There you go. Very nice.
One ticket to see the Yo MTV Raps experience. I don't have it. There it is.
That's
upside
it.
down.
That's it.
Wow.
So it says, dubbed the Yo MTV Raps 30th anniversary experience. The event featured Big Daddy Kane, The Juice Crew, Eric B. and Rakim, Dougie Fresh, KRS-One, EPMD, Public Enemy's Flavor Flav, The Furious Five, Far Side, Brand Nubian, Nice and Smooth, Onyx, Black Sheep, among others, including Mr. Throwback Thursday, who was on stage for EPMD.
Yeah, with Fox of Death Row.
Dr. Dre was asked about a possible reboot from MTV at the time, but was skeptical, and apparently for good reason. That's what they say, he said. I don't know how that's going to work in today's world. The unique thing about Yo MTV Raps was videos were very important back then. In today's streaming world, not sure how that would work. I'm not sure what they plan on doing.
Yeah, because there's this thing called YouTube.
Yeah.
We didn't have YouTube.
We did not.
We had YouTube.
We had to wait and hope that our favorite video came on, and hope that you had a VHS cassette in the VCR to record the show so you could record your favorite videos. They're like video mixtapes.
Yeah.
You know, they had video music box. We had video mixtapes.
Yeah.
Yo, TikTok
No.
raps. That's perfect. Yeah, because TikToks are all about what, 40 seconds long? Well, that's about as much as I can listen to of most of the new stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they roll it out, what it's going to look like. I don't know if everything's going to these streaming platforms now.
Mhm.
Basically, for years, we talked about cable companies needing to offer channels like a la carte as opposed to part of packages.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be more of these streaming things a la carte, which still, if you buy 3 or 4 streaming subscriptions, it's still going to be cheaper than a cable bill.
Yeah. Yep.
So, because cable's just about dead. Our next article, A Thought or Two, comes to us from Revolt.tv,
Yes.
and we have used them before. John yeeted.
Yes, he did.
I don't know why anybody would do that. Revolt.tv says hip hop fans respond to a tweet about Black Thought.
Yeah, and there were a ton of tweets that I just didn't bring up here. But imagine the Avenging Angels that came out after you read this.
I would imagine. Black Thought, founder and lead rapper of the legendary hip-hop band The Roots, is trending on Twitter, and true hip-hop fans have taken time to school anyone who is unaware of his place in the culture. A hip-hop blogger tweeted, Black Thought isn't a top 100 rapper of all time.
Top 100.
This comes from Alicia at My Typa Account 2.
Right. Now, you call yourself a hip hop blogger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
You're talking about Black Thought is not in
Have
the
100 other MCs that you think are better than Black Thought.
and it's not
you're
even
the top
he's not in my top 100. No, he is not in the top 100. Is that I would even have lent some credence to this if, like, oh, all of my top 100 MCs of all time are all from the South or from the West, and he
and all
doesn't fit
started
in
after 2010 or
right. Whatever. If you have some sort of qualifier, but if you're saying the top 100 rappers of all time, 100's a big number.
Yeah. And I
to find to put in front of Tariq Trotter.
and I would have to see the names on this person's list, because I would then take that list and I would eat a shit ton of Taco Bell, and then I would wipe my ass with that list.
Yeah, this
Apparently Black Twitter said the same thing.
yeah, this person got. There's no other time in my life where I would use this term. They got lambasted.
Black
on
Twitter
Twitter.
went wild, causing the Philadelphia-bred lyricist name to rapidly trend. Many fans of the MC took to the social platform to show their love and respect for the artist by posting videos of him rapping, posting the band's discography, and even creating appreciation posts categorizing his artistry with others at his esteemed level of skill. After being compared to new age rappers, many fans retweeted the now infamous Hot 97 freestyle, where the MC showcased his undeniable skill over Mobb Deep's classic, The Learning Burn.
Like 9 minutes, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. With over 9 minutes of continuous lyrical ingenuity and wordplay, Black Thought delivered bars.
Now, we've always talked about freestyling could either be written raps, but talking about no specific topic,
Right.
or going off the top of your head. And there's a big argument, school thoughts on that. I don't care which one Tariq did. 9 minutes.
Either one of them for 9 minutes is ridiculous. 99 Pete Davidson, 100 Timothy Chalamet. Sorry, Black Thought.
Skirt, skirt.
Like, I like Pete Davidson, but I wouldn't put him in a. He's been very funny as Andrew Cuomo the last couple of weeks.
Yes, he has.
He continued using more than 2,000 words, garnishing the video over 1 million views on YouTube in less than 24 hours. His improvised, in-the-moment flow was unrehearsed, yet masterfully skilled, as he told of his band's 1999 album, Things Fall Apart, foreshadowing of the upcoming political climate, his poverty-stricken upbringing, his rise from unfortunate circumstances, and other things. And when asked about the topics in his freestyle, the artist told Rolling Stone, "I've learned to give the listener, the audience, and my fans those glimpses into the inner workings of me, into what makes the machine that is Tariq Trotter. The same way that any speechwriter, or Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, or Jerry Seinfeld will incorporate elements of their everyday life so that they resonate with their audience. That's what I do." And I would guarantee that too, Chris. That's a great point.
Yep. Yeah, Tariq is very clear in his delivery.
Co-founded in 1987 by drummer Amir Thompson, known as Questlove, The Roots has stamped its place in Black culture, and band members continue to prove why they will forever remain a part of hip-hop royalty.
Yeah, there were some tweets out there in this string.
I would have loved to.
Oh my God. You can go, I don't know if it's still there, if he pulled it, but somebody said, who TF is Black Thought anyway? And I'm like, what? You don't have to like Black Thought. You should.
You're on Twitter, which means you have internet access.
Yes.
Google is a fucking thing. You can look that up.
Yes. You don't have to like him. I highly recommend that you do. But you don't have to like him to know who he is.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like our next subject of our next article. I may not like them, but I definitely know who they are.
Yes.
And I'm in the
people
minority.
didn't like them.
I'm in the mind. I was about to say I'm in the minority. Of
you are now. You're about to find out that people did not like them.
Yes. So maybe I was ahead of the curve.
Yes.
Slate.com brings us our next article, which Jamie has entitled Hip Hop Outcasts. Gee, I wonder who this could be about.
Run DMC.
Of course. And Outkast was almost a casualty of the East Coast, West Coast rap battle, which is kind of funny because they're from the South. The Atlanta duo brought the South to hip hop's biggest stage and then got booed off.
I remember this.
Source Awards, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did not watch this because back then I wasn't watching the Source Awards, but I do remember this distinctly. No, John. I'm not a big proponent of "an" being followed by a word with a consonant in the beginning. So,
unless it's Herb.
Although people do say "an harmonica," which I don't understand.
Did they say "and hip hop harmonica"?
No. If you ever watched MASH, there was an episode where Hawkeye was making fun of Charles Emerson Winchester, and he asked for "an harmonica"
and sexy sex.
And that is why that sticks in my head. Anyway, the members of Outkast position themselves between two parallel renderings of democracy. The irony of Southern Black folks upholding the purity of democracy as an idealistic access to better life, and the counter-narrative of democracy in the South as a threat to their very existence. That's a whole lot of word salad. Basically, it says what it means is Outkast recognition of not only their marginalization, but also their refusal to acknowledge that the South does move on after 1968 is significant. In using their musical catalog as a blueprint for updating why the hip-hop South is introspective and reflective of how young Blacks exist at the sharp intersections of expected performance, idealistic longing, and jarring realities of the contemporary American South. Again, whole lot of word salad.
Yes.
This reckoning is amplified at the 1995 Source Awards, where Outkast pushes past the geographic and cultural boundaries of the region, or Southness, into the experimental and metacultural possibilities of Southern Black expression. The Source Awards' dominantly New York audience, in addition to their booing, jolts the ear and affirms hip-hop hyper-regional focus in the early to mid-90s. Oh, yeah, everything was... It was almost like wrestling territories back then.
Yeah. Yep.
The booing crowd identifies hip-hop as Northeastern, urban, and rigidly masculine, an aesthetic that was a daunting task for non-Northeastern performers to try to break through. Even celebrated West Coast artists like Snoop Dogg, who menacingly and repeatedly asked the crowd, "You don't love us?" during the show, indicated the challenge of being recognized and respected by Northeast hip-hop enthusiasts. That night in 1995 proved to be the climax of the conflict instigated by both West Coast Death Row Records and East Coast Bad Boy Records.
Mm-hmm.
The bitter lyrical and personal battle between Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G., and Outkast, a Southern act, chosen as best new rap group. The crowd's increasingly despondent sonic rejection of hip-hop outside of New York foregrounds the premise for reading Outkast's acceptance speech as blatant and unforgiving Southern Black protest, a rallying cry for forcefully creating space for the hip-hop South to come into existence.
And some Southern playlistic Cadillac music.
Yes. Christopher Kid Reed from Kid and Play and Salt and Peppa presented Outkast their award. Upbeat and playful, Kid said, "Ladies, help me out," to announce the winner. But there is a distinctive drop in their enthusiasm when they name Outkast the winner of the category. So even Salt and Peppa were like, man,
Who
TF are Outkast? The inflection in their voices signifies shock and even disappointment, as Kid quickly tries to be diplomatic by shouting out Outkast frequent collaborators and label mates Goody Mob. The negative reaction from the crowd was immediate, sharp, and continuous booing.
That's some shit right there. You're at the Hip Hop Awards. The new Hip Hop Artist of the Year gets crowned, and everybody boos them. Now Andre is, out there with his breath smelling like bird seed, laughing at everybody because
smell like bird seed.
Drinking mocha lacquer fracas upside down in a vase.
You are killing me.
You are the only person in the world who would order a drink like that.
Yep. Big Boy starts his acceptance speech, dropping a few colloquial words immediately recognizable as proper hip-hop. Word and what's up. Over a growingly irritated crowd, Big Boy acknowledges being in New York, y'all's city, and tries to show respect to the New York rappers by crediting them as original MCs. Big Boy recognizes he is an outsider, his southern drawl long and clean in his pronunciation of South as South with an F.
Fresh and so clean.
Yet he attempts to be diplomatic and respectful of New York. There's also a recognition that where he is from, Atlanta, is also a city. His term, y'all's city, is not only a recognition of his being an outsider, but a proclamation that he too comes from a city, except it's a different city.
It's in
Big
the
Boys
South.
embrace it in the South with an F. Big Boy's embrace of Atlanta as urban challenges previous cultural narratives of Southerners as incapable of maneuvering within an urban setting. Because of a long-standing and comfortable assumption that the American South was incapable of anything urban, such as mass transit, tall buildings, bustling neighborhoods, and other interchangeable forms of communities,
and single bounds,
beliefs about Southerners' perspectives remained aligned with rural, read as is country and backward. Sensibilities incapable of functioning in an urban culture setting, these sensibilities often played out in longhand form via literature or in popular black music with a focus on dialect and language, standing in as a signifier of regional and cultural distinction. Consider Rudolph Fisher's Southern protagonist, King Solomon Gillis, from the 1925 short story, City of Refuge. Fisher characterizes Gillis, who was a black man from rural North Carolina, as naive and awestruck not only about New York, but about city life in general. As the story opens, Fisher describes Gillis's ride on the subway as terrifying with strange and terrible sounds. It's 1925. Everybody thought that.
Yeah.
References to the bang and clank of the subway doors and the close proximity of each train as distant thunder are particularly striking, a subtle sonic nod to Gillis's rural southernness and his inability to articulate the subway system outside of his limited southern experiences. The references to heat, oppression, and suffocation also suggest southern weather, as well as a belief about the American South as an unending repetition of slavery and its effects. It's important to point out that Gillis certainly is not a fearful man in the literal sense. He migrated to Harlem out of necessity and desperation, in fear of being lynched after shooting a white man back home. Yet Fisher's attention to sound positions Gillis as an outsider. Further, Fisher describes Gillis as Jonah emerging from the whale, a biblical allusion to triumph over a difficult situation and a reference to rebirth, the possibility of a new life and new purpose. Or
Not a Fudgy the Whale.
Well, no, I was going to say emerging from the whale could be Fudgy because he could shit him out.
It depends on where he's emerging from.
They don't go into detail about that.
No, that's where you got the name Fudgy the Whale.
This can be associated with the biblical reckoning of Southern black folks migrating out of the South to seek socioeconomic change and advancement. Still, the transition of Southern black folks to life in the city is not easy, and Gillis's train ride symbolizes the move from one difficult landscape to another. Although Gillis is ultimately confronted with the brutality he was trying to avoid in North Carolina, his repeated proclamation, they even got colored policemen. And they spell colored, C-U-L-L-U-D, so you can pronounce it colored.
Like South.
Like South. It amplifies his southernness and naivete. Fisher's international use of written out dialect and the repetitiveness of Gillis' awe of seeing black police officers blot out the characteristic of region but not white supremacy.
Why are we talking about this?
Because it all stems from the fact that 70 years later, Big Boy as a Georgian returns to New York with the confidence of both rural and southern sensibilities outside of the immediate recognizable urban trope that is in New York, and his full embrace of being colored
from the South
in both linguistic and cultural elements. And then the New York crowd basically chewed him up and spit him out.
Yes.
I mean, it goes way more deep into it, but you can get all of this from, there's a book called Chronicling Stankonia, The Rise of the Hip Hop South. It's written by Regina Bradley and just came out this year. So,
see, now that's something I might check out. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's 1995. You can get it on this one specific, very, very large commerce site.
If you happen to go to our show notes and read this article, maybe you'll find a link to it.
Yes, you will definitely find a link to it. But yes, the book is called Chronicling Stankonia, and it does have both of them on the cover. So,
yes, well, I'm actually interested in reading that because I've said it before. I'm not well versed in Southern hip hop.
No, I mean we were never exposed to it.
No,
and I don't remember who it was. Probably Outkast. No, I would say the first Southern hip hop that I ever listened to was probably 2 Live Crew.
Well, yeah, and MC Shy D. Come on, come on.
Yeah, but that's more. I wouldn't even say that's a different era. That's strictly Miami bass sound, and I don't necessarily think that's hip hop per se. I think that's more club music, more dance music.
And I know like Criss Cross and the Brat came through So Def, and they came through Jermaine Dupri, so they came through the South, but I don't know if they're actually from there, and they didn't have that same Southern feel that you get from Outkast and Goody Mob, and even coming later than that, T.I. and Luda, and
John just threw an interesting name in there.
the Devil did go down to Georgia.
Yeah, and that was more of a spoken word song than anything.
Right. Well, that's talking about Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire," which was supposed to be his foray into hip hop, and then he ended up not really. That was,
but there was still a melodic element to that, because he did change the key on all of those words.
But doesn't Andre?
Somewhat. Charlie Daniels never did until he got to the chorus of the song.
Right.
He was just basically talking.
Mm-hmm.
But I had The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I had Uneasy Rider, which was the first Charlie Daniels song I remember.
I had The Devil Went Down to Georgia on 45.
So did I. And I don't remember what was on the other side of it.
I believe Dr. Tim has it now.
I'm sure he probably does. Dr. Tim has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but I gave him like all my 45s.
What is next on Hip Hop Headlines? I
believe we go to Louisville.
Eras. Huh?
I believe we go to Louisville for this one.
Louisville.
Yes.
another Southern pronunciation.
Yes.
Louisville.
I never in my life used a Louisville Slugger when I played baseball.
Where you are, it was, it's Norfolk.
Yeah.
Not Norfolk.
Nope. Yeah. And then there's a
Nelly. Nelly. The Louisville Cardinal, LouisvilleCardinal.com. The weekly independent student newspaper. So this has got to be from the University of Louisville.
You would think.
How rap changed throughout the decades. Eras.
Yeah.
Even the most casual music followers can distinguish old school rap from its more modern releases, you would think.
You would hope.
Boom bap drums and simple catchy samples are hallmarks of rap's infancy period, in the era of the genre's so-called golden age is still held in high esteem by listeners and rap TV readers. Although rap music saw its largest boom period on the West Coast, its origins can be traced back to the other side of the country, to the Bronx. The Bronx.
Yes.
No, the.
To the borough of Bronx, and they just shortened it to the Bronx. There you go. It's my explanation for you.
That would be the only acceptable explanation I could
That's why
ever
I'm
come
here.
up with. And you just very well done. You sounded like you had knowledge behind that. Like that was a thing, man.
I read books and stuff.
You'd make a good referee. Sell that shit, even if you don't believe it. Yep. Anyway, although rap music saw its largest boom period on the West Coast, its origins can be traced back to the other side of the country, to Bronx. African American and Caribbean youth joined artistic forces to create a platform and outlet for society's disenfranchised and underrepresented. This novel form of artistic expression was inclusive to everybody, regardless of musical ability or financial status, which is a very important point.
It is.
Didn't matter about your financial status. You could still do this.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go to music classes and learn complicated theory, nor did you have to shell out hundreds of dollars on instruments. This new rhythmic form of music required only verbal charisma and an awareness of society's many issues at the time, and to a lesser extent, a certain set of rhythm.
Yes, that's kind of important.
How was early rap different from today's? No. Although themes of societal oppression, racial inequalities, and humble brags about material wealth have ever been present themes of rap, its ancestor was still radically different from today's product. Production techniques were still in their infancy. Creators had to make do with the limited equipment at their disposal. Drum machines and samplers came into the fold shortly after the success of Sugar Hill Gang's 1979 classic Rapper's Delight, which was the first mainstream hit from the new genre known as rap. legacy of 80s rap is that the following decade unfolded with Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim lighting up the charts. The hip-hop revolution was now in full swing, and its mecca was indeed New York City, where Run DMC dealt in mainstream club-oriented hits. Other artists were using rap as a vehicle to express their most profound thoughts, including De La Soul, with their 1989 album, 3 Feet High
And rising.
Rising, which was a turning point in the genre's development. Considered rap's equivalent of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, the album's rich tapestry of samples and eclectic array of musical interludes marked one of the first times rap music was considered a legitimate artistic force. I never thought of making that comparison, but it fits.
Yeah.
Rappers today still use art to express their most vulnerable thoughts, although production techniques and studio capabilities have evolved enormously since the 80s. The lyrical themes have always been relevant. And gangster rap changed the game both for better and for worse. Rap music's first full decade culminated in its most controversial record, NWA's Fuck the Police. As the 1990s unfolded, rap's mainstream status moved from the East Coast to the West Coast seemingly overnight. The rap music of that decade is considered by many to be its greatest. Although the East Coast still churned out classic albums by Nas, Hawaiian Sophie, and the Notorious B.I.G., California had become hip-hop's most fertile breeding ground. The gangster rap explosion marked the end of introspective lyrics and pacifistic life viewpoints and popularized depictions of guns, women, drug use, and life in economically deprived areas. Spearheaded by slow, heavy beats and 1970s funk samples, gangster rap became one of music's most profitable genres.
That was a big difference. East Coast hip hop started off with disco samples and bluesy stuff. Not always, but that was predominantly where the East Coast stuff came from. And the West Coast went more funk with their stuff.
I mean, think of Rapper's Delight. Rapper's Delight basically took the hook from Chic's Good Times.
Good Times, yeah. Which I actually heard tonight when I was at my previous engagement before this. It was playing in the showroom.
The legacy of G-Funk production lives on. Listeners found themselves being increasingly alienated by gangster rap, unable to relate to the lifestyle anymore. The genre was in danger of becoming a parody of itself, kind of like CB4. Although the lyrical content became more and more ridiculous, gangster rap's production techniques continued to be enormously influential. The arrival of artists such as Pass resurrected rap and propelled it back into the mainstream. Pass's philosophy of using hip-hop to create diverse oral collages gave way to a new generation of rappers. As music software became cheaper and more available, SoundCloud rap began to make waves with the youth of the 2000s. Yo, check out my mixtape, yo.
Yeah.
There's no tape. There's no tape. You can't have a mixtape digitally.
Yeah, and then that led you to a whole bunch of
Now, artists such as the departed XXXTentacion and Juice WRLD have brought hip-hop back to its introspective roots. No, they didn't. Where will it go from here? Only time will tell. Those are not the two.
Grown up.
Those are not the two that you are going to talk about as far as being introspective. Just because they died doesn't mean that their music was introspective. I can't stand when they try to force narratives on things just to justify the death of XXXTentacion, who,
who I heard was the king of the sad rap.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
It's like everybody, I mean, hell, there was a Lil Xan being short for Xanax.
Yep. Yeah, I think we did one of his songs on BRLIG.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Burlig.
And I wish we didn't. Our next article comes to us from complex.com, and you have entitled it, Eric B. is President. And that's not Scooby-Doo saying president.
No, it is not. It is as dumb, though.
That was a stylistic choice you made on the title. Complex says Eric B. responds to Wendy Williams' new biopic and rental car claims. Wendy Williams is a joke. Wendy Williams is no stranger to airing out dirty laundry. Yet fans were taken by surprise by some of the things she shared in her biopic. This prompted hip-hop legend Eric B. to clear his name of some of the claims made against him. Williams' biopic revealed her relationship with the iconic DJ for the first time. Not only did she disclose that she was pregnant by him, what? Williams also claimed Eric B. didn't have a car at the time of their relationship. This supposedly led to her renting cars for him in her name, which allegedly ruined her credit.
Allegedly.
Eric B. must have seen the movie or caught wind of the chaos it created because he went to Instagram on Sunday to playfully dispute these claims. He posted a vintage picture of him standing in front of a Rolls Royce, insinuating he had money before Wendy Williams came into his life. On the
and
picture,
look at the license plate.
Text reading, "Damn, I need a rental."
What's the license plate say?
The license plate says, as I scroll down, Eric B7.
So you can't be renting a car with an Eric B license plate on it.
No.
And I need you to read
No.
what Chad said, and please read it properly.
How you doing?
Thank you.
There.
Let us move on.
Let us move on. Too hilarious. I laughed too. Well, it made for great TV, Eric B captioned the post, but the truth is something different. Try that. Yeah, damn, I need a rental, he said. I'm going to go with Eric B and say that Wendy Williams is probably talking out of her posterior because that's kind of what she does.
She does. And Eric B is now on CBS's Blue Bloods.
Yes. Our next article, In the Mix, you have called it.
Yes.
Comes to us from All Hip Hop. This is a very interesting
I thought so.
Interesting piece.
Legwork, man. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. When you actually have to go back and not have Google do it for you, right?
Yeah, you gotta go find stuff.
MC Lyte and Sheila E. are headlining Women in the Mix event for International Women's Day.
Sorry. Friend of the show who?
Friend of the show, MC Lyte.
Yes.
Who belongs on the Mount Rushmore of rap. Not
She
of
does.
female MCs, just of MCs.
Yes.
And I will go to my grave with that thought. And there's a lot of people who probably argue that with me. Oh, at the break, I got to tell you what this person who I told about the show today argued with me about a one and done.
Oh?
Yes.
This should be fun. Is it El Boogie?
That would be the one.
I kind of figured.
Because I was told that there's a live album.
Doesn't matter. It's an unplugged album, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Where
And
she
I said,
does the miseducation, just unplugged.
I said, yeah, I said, that's what I said to this person. I said, no, that's pretty much the same thing. You know, it's the same record.
Studio album, solo, and it's an R&B album. But anyway,
what is this?
I don't know.
I'm trying to get
I
more
don't
juice to the
know.
computer here.
Some
I
Juice
don't know.
World.
Juice World. So anyway, back to the article. Rap pioneer MC Lyte, pop veteran Cyndi Lauper, and percussionist Sheila E. are set to mark International Women's Day on March 8th by rocking the Women in the Mix event.
Crush Groove star Sheila E.
That's a pretty good triumvirate right there.
It is.
Recording Academy officials have unveiled the lineup for the Female Empowerment Gig, which will celebrate the contributions of female artists, producers, engineers, and executives in a bid to close gender gaps on and off stage. Also featured in the Grammy Week virtual show will be singer Ingrid Andress, Nova WAV production duo Denicia, Blue June Andrews, and Brittany Chai Coney, TV personality Roxy
Is Blue
Diaz.
June Andrews like Black Elvis?
I don't have any idea.
Okay.
And Time's Up CEO and President Tina Chen. Women in the Mix will take place at 5 p.m. Pacific time on March 8th at Grammy.com.
Who gives a fuck about a
Don't type
goddamn
in who gives-
Grammy.com?
Don't type all that in. You will not get it.
You never know. They may have taken that website too and put a redirect.
Oh, no, probably Public Enemy bought that one. You go to Public Enemy's website. The 2021 Who Gives a Fuck About a Goddamn Grammy Awards are set to be staged on March 14th.
So
Our
don't
next
say we didn't
article.
tell you.
This is the life. And this
Yes.
comes to us from the New York Times.
This is a really cool one. I like this. And no, I have not checked it out yet.
Why do I need to create an account to read a New York Times article now?
I don't know, because you've reached your limit.
I hope not, because, the New York Times is kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, well, look at that.
Just had to click away.
Unlimited articles, 1 week free, then $1 a week.
I got subscribed for $2 a week. How about this is a life review, a valuable part of hip hop history. Ava DuVernay's 2008 documentary, now streaming on Netflix, is a personal love letter to a slice of LA's 90s hip hop scene. How's that?
It sounds good. Let me
All right.
see if I got through all of this shit.
It's
Oh,
now
look at
available.
that.
Ta-da!
There it is. Link your account to get no thanks. Collapse. And we can read. Good. Okay.
Okay.
Ava DuVernay's 2008 debut feature, the documentary This Is the Life, is a refreshing portrait of a 1990s California hip-hop subculture that thrives separately from gangster rap. DuVernay's documentary, now available to stream on Netflix, is a personal project she performed as part of the rap duo Figures of Speech at the Good Life Cafe, a South Central Los Angeles health food cafe that became a mecca for the underground rap community. Now, I knew of Ava DuVernay, but I did not
Yes.
know she was an artist.
I did not either.
Throughout the 90s, the Modest Spaces open mic nights fostered a bevy of young, raw, untainted, lyrical voices telling stories of everyday life in LA. DuVernay combines performer interviews with VHS footage and audio clips of their shows to retell a magical period in the hip-hop scene. In its intertitle graphics and visual typography, This Is the Life often mirrors VH1's Behind the Music documentaries. The second VH1 mention.
Second behind the music reference at that.
When staging her interviews, however, DuVernay imprints unique compositions onto the familiar music doc style by using the respondents' spacious surroundings to frame them. To paint the cafe's milieu, she identifies the Institute's stalwarts, such as supportive fans lovingly referred to as Gene in the front row and Big Al. I think every club's got a Big Al.
We don't have one here.
We need a Big Al.
We got a Big John.
Well, I was about to say, we got a Big John. Now it makes me want to listen to Big John by Jimmy Dean. And not the sausage guy either. Not only does DuVernay feature the cafe's black male MCs like Abstract Rude and Chillin' Villain Empire, she underscores the white, Latino, and female artists who also appeared on the Good Life stage. The venue's traditions are also outlined. No leaving gum on the floor. No leaning on the paintings. Avoid the phrase wiggity wiggity in freestyles. And no profanity. Meant to ensure a clean space and substantive rhymes. Audiences at the Good Life wanted to hear idiosyncratic freestylers using distinct techniques to tell unique stories. Why would they hone in on wiggity wiggity?
Maybe they were using that.
Maybe way too much, I
Or
guess.
some variation thereof.
Rappers who failed to meet crowd expectations in scenes akin to Amateur Night at the Apollo were booed off the stage. I wonder if they had their own Sandman Sims.
Nobody has their own Sandman Sims. There's only one. They could have a Kiki Shepard.
But they can't have
They
Sandman
can't have
Sims.
Sandman Sims.
In recalling the night the rapper Fat Joe bombed at the cafe, DuVernay creatively soundtracks the audio from the event over a time lapse of a chalk artist sketching the scene. Word of mouth inspired record deals for some Good Life performers. Jurassic 5, for instance, became gold record certified in Britain. By 1994, the cafe had built such a reputation that artists like Ice Cube and Bone Thugs and Harmony came to listen. And it is claimed by the rapper Abstract Rude that those artists incorporated the underground style into their work. When DuVernay plays the Good Life MC Micah Nine's verse on Freestyle Fellowship's Mary, from 1993, next to Bone Thugs and Harmony's The Crossroads in 1996, it's a difficult assertion to dispute. Outside of the film's director, however, few from The Good Life became household names. But in the illuminating This Is the Life, DuVernay not only fills an important informative gap in California's hip-hop history, she displays the inventive eye that would later lead to her future cinematic successes. That might be worth watching, man.
I said that.
Dude, Ava DuVernay is she's a smart woman.
Yeah. So this is on your list for next week. Watch this and watch the Biggie thing that dropped today that we were talking about last week.
Mm-hmm. And the final article of Hip Hop Headlines, and so it begins.
Yes.
Which makes it sound ominous, but this is not an ominous thing. This is a good thing.
It is.
And this
meanwhile, back at Bronx Terminal Market.
Meanwhile, I do have to refresh the article, though, because for one reason or another,
You let it sit for too long.
yeah, you know, these things do that.
They do.
There we are. I think that should do it. And this comes to us.
Don't say it, John, unless you're putting Renegade in your queue.
Timeout.com. A first look at the Universal Hip Hop Museum coming to New York City in 2023.
Yes.
With just
I
2
saw
years.
this presentation.
Yes.
Gail also saw this presentation. I don't know if anyone else watched it. We told them to. We told them where they could sign up for it.
You watched a special one, and you were part of the media notes.
I was, which I was not aware of prior to that, getting that in the email.
And it's so funny because when you sent it to me, that's the first thing I looked. When I saw the notes, I said, I wonder if they're going to have him listed. And I wonder if they're going to list him by his government name or if they're going to list him as Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Yes. Yep. No. And it's funny you say that because the first time I went on Fresh Radio, that's what B asked me. He goes, I'm here with, how should I refer to you? I'm like, either way, it's fine, man.
By my government or by my podcast name. So anyway, with just 2 years to go until it opens in South Bronx, the Universal Hip Hop Museum is launching its $100 million capital campaign to raise funds for its interiors this week. At 2 p.m. this past Wednesday, the museum, which currently operates at a Bronx Terminal Market, takes the public on a 3D virtual tour of the new museum. And hear from radio host Barbara Roxy DeLeo, UHHM's founder and executive director and friend of the show, Rocky Bucano,
Who says
civil
museum?
rights icon. Huh?
Who says museum?
Museum?
That's the way Rocky says it.
Oh, that's, you know what? He does.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Civil rights icon Dr. Benjamin Chavez, DJ Spark of iHeartRadio, and chair of the Capital Campaign and UHHM chief strategist, Michael Blake. And they talk about how and why to donate to the cause.
Yeah. Uncle Ralph was also there featured. Paradise, Pete.
Friends of the show, Paradise and Pete.
Yes.
It is a pivotal time now more than ever that we bring this museum to life, Bucano said, or shall I say museum if I'm quoting him.
Yes.
It is a cultural timestamp that will bridge the hip hop and Bronx community with a permanent place to call home, but we cannot do it without your support. This capital campaign is a call to action to ensure we preserve the culture. Rappers Curtis Blow, Africa Bambaataa, and Grandmaster Melly Mel, spelled wrong, but we'll give him a pass, are the masterminds behind the museum, which aims to accurately preserve the history of local and global hip-hop music and culture through stories, shows, film screenings, and leading-edge virtual and augmented reality technologies. Yes. Other rapper, producer, entrepreneurs have signed on to the project, including Nas, Ice-T, and LL Cool J, reported by Reuters. The museum has that.
Yes.
I had to correct myself. The museum itself will take up 60,000 square feet in South Bronx, the birthplace of the hip-hop genre. It'll be part of Bronx Point, a new waterfront development that includes 1 million square feet of affordable housing, as well as an esplanade along the Harlem River, a playground, and green space for the public to use. Renderings of the museum exterior and of Bronx Point by S9 Architecture and the Esplanade by Marvel were recently released. And if it's going to look anything like these drawings, this is going to be impressive as hell.
It is.
The museum has raised $23 million during phase 1 for initial construction, and now it's pushing toward phase 2 with its capital campaign for its interior. The time for hip hop to have its own home has come, Blake said. Now it's time to build. Our $100 million capital campaign, which is in 5 phases to signify the 5 elements of hip hop, will ensure that the official record of hip hop is cemented where it should be in South Bronx, the South Bronx. Well done, Blake.
Yes.
Had to get that, even though, if you ask the Juice Crew, they'll argue that. Doesn't mean they're right, just means they have an opinion.
Yep.
It is time for our first break of the evening. When we come back, it will be time for some Woo News. And you should come back and enjoy that Woo News on Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 370, coming right back at you.
And I'm going to refresh and see if I can fix my green screen. I'll be right back.
I was just about to say the same
Yep.
thing, too.
And I'm back. Share my screenage again. Share the audio. Do this. On the stream. Take it off of the stream. I have to get my drop prepared because it's time for that. And then I need to pull up the Woo News intro because it's not one of the ones that I keep in the what you call it anymore.
1 2 1 2.
Yes, Ghost, we know. Okay, so that's ready there. I hear we have Woo News. Yes, John, that was my plan. The answer is hey, yeah. Yes, John. Yes, John, that's exactly what I did. All right. I need this back up on the screen up here. I need this on the screen over here. We got
Over here. Over here.
1, 2, 3 articles of Woo News. Okay, make sure I have things muted that need to be muted.
Mute them.
Yay.
Rhymes with sputum.
Sure. All right, so tell the people what this person thought about El Boogie.
Oh, so I was talking to this new patient today who, as I said, came in a Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die t-shirt, with the baby on it.
Yep.
And I picked it out right away. I said, Notorious B.I.G. I said, which I have to refer to him as because he could not use the name Biggie Smalls.
See,
because
you learned something.
already had it. And she goes, really? I said, yep. I said, and I looked at her, African-American woman, about 30, mid-30s, let's say. And she looks at me and I said, and you're wondering how somebody who looks like me knows that. I said, I have to admit to you, I cheated. I said, it's because of a podcast that we have that a friend of mine and I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about classic hip hop. And she's like, no way. So I started telling her about it. And I said, we do hip hop headlines, we do Woo News, and she was all excited about that. And I said, and then we review 2 records, a record of the week and a one and done. I said, where an artist had one commercially successful album and nothing else. I said, which is why people wouldn't think so, but why Lauryn Hill is a one and done. And she took umbrage.
She's a diamond selling artist.
I said, yeah, but she never followed up the Miseducation.
Yeah.
One of the best records ever made, which, by the way, I said to her also, I said, which in my opinion is probably 50% R&B.
Mm-hmm.
Shots to the solar plexus. Not in this.
No,
Not usually in this line of work.
Field,
I deal with hematology and oncology patients. So it's usually blood disorders and
you take enough
things like that.
Take enough shots to the solar plexus and you could have internal bleeding now.
You could, but no, we deal with like clotting issues, people who have to be on Coumadin and stuff like that.
I had to be on that after my knee replacement.
Yes, you did.
Does anybody want to see the reason Biggie Smalls had to change his name?
Show the folks.
Because of this kid right here.
Yep.
Who grew up into this kid.
Biggie Smalls.
He is not the illest, though.
He's not the illest. But he's the owner of the name. So
he is.
He's got that going for him.
Yep. This one hurts. This is like Tom telling me dad jokes.
Yeah. Do I not have?
Glenn said, my wife made chili tonight and threw in some Scrabble tiles. My next trip to the bathroom could spell disaster.
That's so stupid, but it's funny. That's good. I actually kind of like that.
I'm going to throw that at Tom Bolda because he hits me with all these dad jokes to the point where I have to mute him.
Oh, God, that's funny. What the hell is that?
I don't know. I don't ever know what the hell you're talking about when you say, what is that? Because I'm not there.
I'm trying.
That's a half a brick wall. And
I am trying to, because I moved my computer because I'm trying to get it to charge, but I can't. My eyesight is so freaking bad.
Yes. This we know. Well, this I know. I don't know about everybody else, but they know now.
See, that's got to be the one where the charger plugs into. This has to be where. Yeah, that would be where the headphones would have plugged into. So.
Okay, so once again,
I've got a bad outlet though because my charger's not working. Which I'm not happy about.
Yeah, we don't have an electrical department.
No, I thought at one point we had a power strip in here, but I guess I would be mistaken.
You would be. Now take your hand and put it up to your camera.
You're out.
Slowly back towards your face. Slowly back towards your face.
Yeah, but my chair almost tipped over too because that was...
details.
There.
You're blurry.
I'm blurry.
Everyone else is seeing you like you would see everyone else.
Yeah. If I took my glasses off.
Yep. You're driving me and bonkers.
I'm driving what?
Me and bonkers.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do this.
Well, you are very blurry for all of us.
I am.
Yes. John says you are not. You are velour. Ah!
You look at my eye.
No, yeah, you don't need to clean your glasses. It's Bill imparting his vision on us.
You know what it is? Let me pull
No.
the chair a little.
Slowly till it refocuses on your grill. There you are.
Color is off. Is that better?
Much.
Good.
No, my color is off too. I am not this white.
Time to take you off the big chair. There was no brick cleavage. That's nice. And I never should be on the big screen anyway.
Look, Mom.
I'm not the velour. I'm felt.
So you're like
Anyway.
the world's second felty American?
Some-
You're rug boy too?
I've been called worse.
Hmm.
All right, you got a drop and everything?
Of course I do. Let's put this up on the screen.
Pissed off at the fact that this charger's not working.
Look, I gave it to you in perfect working order. I don't know what you did to it.
No, I think there's something with the outlet. I think there's a light switch in here that triggers this outlet.
Yeah, and it's off.
Yeah, but that's okay.
All right. Let's hit this drop with a Shri. Woo's your mama?
And now, directly from the planet of Brooklyn, MC Light as a rock.
1 2 1 2 mic check. Check it out. This is MC Light, and you're listening to my boys Jamie and Bill on Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Guys watch, even some of the girls watch. Step back, it ain't that type of party. No reply if you ain't somebody. Get out my face, don't want to hear no more. If you hate what
1 2 1 2. What's good, yo? This is Ghostface straight from Staten Island, New York. And right about now, it's time for Woo News with Jamie and Bill. Y'all know what it is. Get it correct. Mr. Throwback Thursdays, Jamie and Bill. You know what I mean? On Woo News. That's what's going down right now. Y'all check this out. Exclusive. Peace.
The RZA, the Jizza, Raekwon, Master Killer, Inspector Deck, You God, Method Man, Ghostface Killer, and Old Dirty Bastard.
It's now time for Woo News with Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Shimmy on it.
Welcome back, Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 370. It is indeed time for Woo News. We have three pieces of Woo News for you tonight. The first one you have entitled to start with For the Children, which is a pretty
Yes.
standard Woo News theme.
It is, but this one is article specific.
Well, look at that. From the source at thesource.com.
Not from source.
No, the source.
The source, yes.
Today in hip hop history, and today being February 26th, so this article
Yes,
is
not
from last
quite
week,
today.
but this week in hip hop history,
Yes, not day March.
22 years ago, Old Dirty Bastard crashes the Grammy stage. One of the greatest moments in the history of this genre.
And of the Who Gives a Fuck About a Goddamn Grammy Awards.
Absolutely. The year was monumental for all of the Wu-Tang Clan. Since their debut release as a group 4 years prior, many of the members put forth some of the best albums in not only hip-hop, but all of music. On the contrary, the same could be said for young Sean Combs, who at the time went by the name Puff Daddy. We refer to him as Piss Dookie.
And at the time, it was Puff Diddy Daddy Farty Licky.
Yes, at the time it was. Since his early departure from Uptown Records, Uptown, baby, Uptown, baby, he had been making a solid name in the industry, whether it be founding Bad Boy Entertainment, producing hits for artists that include Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, Lil Kim, and Usher, just to name a few, or even promoting his own talents, like the Notorious B.I.G. and Craig Mack. But in 1997, he had begun to make his mark as a rapper with the release of his first LP titled No Way Out. Fast forward to the 40th annual Who Gives a Fuck About a Goddamn Grammy Awards held in the historic Radio City Music Hall in 1998. The Wu-Tang Clan's Wu-Tang Forever would be matched with Piss Dookie's No Way Out in the category for Best Rap Album. Unfortunately for the Clan, they fell short, which caused disbelief to many, including Russell Jones, professionally known as Dirt McGirt.
Yes.
Big baby Jesus.
Jesus.
The Osiris of this shit. Or Old Dirty Bastard.
Yes.
Who not long after grabbed the mic from a young Erykah Badu as Erykah Badu was presenting an award to Sean Colvin.
The Voodoo Queen.
And why would he have messed? That's probably why he died young.
Yeah.
He messed with the Voodoo Queen.
You don't do that. It's like messing with Marie Laveau.
And announced that, in quote, Puffy is good, but Wu-Tang is the best. Piss Dookie's No Way Out album won the award, but ODB said his outfit costed him way too much not to not have his side of the story heard.
Mm-hmm.
The late ODB would be rivaled by none other than a Hennessy bottle toting Pass, who mirrored his acts on the Grammy stage in 2015 with a young Taylor Swift. And every year we do this show on this week. Do you have the actual audio of him crashing the stage?
Hold on. I do not. Normally I have it. This time I did not have it prepared.
It's just for my favorite quote.
I know. Hold on.
I bought this suit today that costed a lot of money
today. ODB Grammy interruption. That's the first thing that comes up. Okay, so if I click on this, nope. And then I take this and throw it up on this screen over here. And then I click on this thing here. And then I come over here and I hit share screen so everybody's happy. And then I do this.
Here comes Sean Colvin for Sonny Came Home.
Please calm down. The music and everything. I said, I went and bought me an outfit today that costed a lot of money today. You know what I mean? Because I figured that Wu-Tang was going to win. I don't know how y'all see it, but when it comes to the children, Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children. You know what I mean? Puffy is good, but Wu-Tang is the best. Okay? I want y'all to know that this is ODB and I love you all. Peace.
People had no idea how to react to that.
No, how do you react to that? I don't care who you are.
Smattering of applause, like, get off the stage.
That was cool.
Sean Colvin looked out as she saw him. She walked out and she's like, oh, there's a human tarantula on the stage and I don't know what to do.
The big baby Jesus, you don't mess with him.
Freaking God love ODB. His light shine. His light burned out way too quick, man. Next article. Season 2. I'm wondering what that's about. SILive.com brings us this. SI not being Sports Illustrated, being Staten Island, of course. RZA drops Wu-Tang and American Saga spoilers and says season 2 will focus on recording 36 chambers.
Yes, this is going to be very interesting if it ever happens.
Yeah. RZA, founding member of the legendary hip-hop group Wu-Tang Clan and co-creator of Hulu's Wu-Tang and American Saga, is giving fans a tease. RZA like pizza. Is giving fans a tease of what's to come in season 2. In an interview with Rolling Stone, the rapper and producer spoke about the unpredictable elements Wu-Tang has used to tell its story through an American Saga in the Showtime docuseries of Mics and Men. But there is still more to uncover, according to RZA.
Not according to Garth.
In season 1, we rarely touched into the actual recording of 36 Chambers. There are certain things that happen in that studio that are hilarious. That's the caption of our youth, and also that's iconic, RZA said.
Yeah, because we got more into the Genius and Prince Rakeem. That's really the only artist stuff that we saw.
Yeah, it was more about establishing the relationships between all of them and how most of them didn't even like Raekwon at the time.
Yeah. But how they all
respected
knew
his
each
talent,
other.
but they didn't like him.
Right. How they all knew each other before they were the Wu.
Right. In season 1, we rarely touched in the actual recording. There are certain things that happen. You know, this season is going to be even more unpredictable, but layered into the fun of what 36 Chambers means to so many people around the world. RZA added that certain topics, like how Method Man got his name, will be addressed in the second season as well. And that would be Clifford Smith, professionally known as... No. Yes, there it is. A premiere date has yet to be announced, but RZA hinted that other Wu-Tang members, most notably U-God, will join the creative effort to tell the group's story.
Never
all I can picture
have I heard the words, most notably U-God.
All I can picture is U-God's going to get involved, and there's going to be an episode that deals just strictly with him. And I can picture Peter Griffin like, that's right. It's a Meg episode. Here's the clicker. No one would blame you. My writer's room is being ran with Zoom. We have to make 3 rooms, RZA told Rolling Stone, but we have a great team. And a good thing is that usually when you're doing a TV series, you've kind of got to play catch up because your scripts are behind. We will be ahead. The second season for Wu-Tang: An American Saga was announced in January 2020, following the series debut in September of 2019. The first season, which was shot and set on Staten Island, was written by RZA and Alex C., and executive produced by RZA, Method Man C., Brian Grazer, and Francie Calfo. Toast Face Grilla, Inspector Deck, Master Killer, GZA, and the estate of ODB were all listed as consultants. Set in 1990s New York at the height of the crack cocaine epidemic, Wu-Tang: An American Saga tracks the clan's formation, a vision of Bobby Diggs, a.k.a. RZA, who strives to unite a dozen young black men who are torn between music and crime, but eventually rise to become the unlikeliest of American success stories. Ahead of the first season's premiere, a Wu-Tang Clan branded ice cream truck handed out merchandise and frozen treats to people in Clifton. It also inspired a New York City Metro card. We talked about both of those things.
We did.
I would have liked some Wu-Tang ice cream.
You'd like any ice cream.
Yeah, I resemble that remark. Naturally, the production filmed in the Park Hill section of Clifton, where Wu-Tang Clan originated. Production trucks and crew members associated with the project began filming in the borough February 2019 and continued throughout the summer. The project filmed around Clifton, Port Richmond, Fort Wadsworth, and inside local businesses like Major Records. The series stars Ashton Sanders as Bobby Diggs, Shameik Moore as Shah, Sadiq Saunderson as Dennis D. Love Coles, Julian Elijah Martinez as Divine Diggs, Marcus Callender as Power Grant, Erica Alexander as Linda Diggs, Zoli Griggs as Shuri Diggs, David Davies Brewster as Shotgun, TJ Adams as Asan Unique, and John L. Xavier Young as Gary a la Justice. Which, if you can remember who all of those people are by their rap names, I'm impressed. I can't wait for season 2, man. I enjoyed season 1 a lot more than I thought I would. I thought it was told pretty well, to be honest with you.
I think so.
And the guy who played ODB was just a spitting image of him.
Yeah, not as much as his son, but...
No, but his son didn't get the part.
Right, because he's not an actor.
No. I'm not sure what he is. He's young dirty bastard.
He is.
Next article, Wu versus Wu.
This is huge news.
Intriguing.
Yes, anyone who's a fan of the Versus series
will be kind of salivating at this. Toast Face Grilla and Raekwon will bring Wu-Tang Clan classics for an upcoming Versus battle. D'Angelo returned to the historic Apollo Theater for a special Versus event on Saturday, February 27th.
And it wasn't a Versus anything. It was an evening with D'Angelo and friends.
And his abs.
Yes.
And now Co-founders Swizz Beatz and Timbaland have announced they're headed back to the Shaolin Temple for the next installment.
Yes, not
Swizz
Magoo, just
decided
Timbaland.
no Magoo. Swizz decided to drop a bombshell announcement for Verz's next matchup after playing select cuts such as Incarcerated Scarfaces, Verbal Intercourse, and Run featuring Jadakiss. Raekwon versus Toast Face.
Woo!
Swizz said. During their Instagram live recap for D'Angelo's lauded Verz's appearance, Swizz and Timbo revealed the lady singer was originally scheduled to go up against Maxwell on Valentine's Day, but it didn't work out for undisclosed reasons.
It's a lady.
The celebration between Ray and Toast Face Gorilla comes 26 years after they became one of hip-hop's favorite duos on Ray's 95 classic Only Built for Cuban Links debut, which continued on Toast Face's Iron Man solo album in 1996.
What color was that Only Built for Cuban Links?
I believe it was a lavender or a puce.
It could be.
Puce, by the way, is expensive purple.
Is that the color of the Crown Royal bag?
Yeah, I think so, actually. The two will be the third and fourth members of the vaunted Wu-Tang Clan to participate in Verzuz after RZA battled DJ Premier last May, and Clifford Smith, professionally known as joined D'Angelo for a performance of Left and Right, as well as Breakups to Makeups on this past Saturday's evening with
Reggie Noble was there too.
Verz's celebration for two of Wu-Tang's more beloved members is only the next step for the brand, which dominated social media in 2020 with matchups such as Jeezy and Gucci Mane, Brandy and Monica, Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, among others. In December of 2020, Professor Bun B confirmed he was set to take part in an upcoming Verzuz representing UGK against 8-Ball and MJG, although a date has yet to be revealed for that Southern Fried special. That'd be a good one, too.
It would be, yes.
But Ray versus Toast.
Yeah.
Who you picking?
I'm going with Toast Face.
I'm probably going Toast Face, too. John
Thank
says
you,
the
John.
Crown Royal bag is royal purple. Puce is more of a dusty lavender. John would know because he is the Vikings fan and privy to all things purple.
All things purple. And they're both also Prince fans, so.
Yes. And Prince is, I'm a Prince
all 7
fan.
princes. You don't know the 7 princes. You got to read a book. I'll tell you about it later.
I know 2 princes.
Yes. No.
Pocket full of kryptonite. Spin doctors.
No. This is the 7 princes. And they are that prince, but there's 7.
All 7, and we watch them fall.
Yep.
See, I know a little bit.
Yes, but there are 7. That is one of the 7, but there are 7 princes. John and Sarah both know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's that's not a hip hop thing. So we're gonna.
It's not.
We're gonna put that on the back burner.
Okay,
and
Mr.
we're gonna
Hockey.
get Dude, I'm lucky I'm even standing. Shut up. Are you ready for some hip hop music?
I have been ready.
Are you ready for a one and done?
Yeah, I guess we can start with one. See how it works out.
Our one and done this week for episode 370 came to us May 19th of 1998. It runs 50 minutes and 7 seconds long on Rap-A-Lot Records.
Yes.
Produced by, which I don't know if it's one of the 7, but Jay Prince. It's funny how that just kind of happened.
Yes.
John Bido, Wendell Springer, Mike Dean, Troy Pee Wee Clark, David Forrest, Itchy, Jerry Muhammad,
Scratchy.
and Scarface. no Scratchy.
You had Itchy, you got to have Scratchy.
Yeah, you would think. This record is the
From the
second
South.
and from the South with an F.
Yes.
The second and final studio album by American hip hop group Black Monks, which consisted of Houston rappers Mr. 3-2, DA, AWOL, Asada Tafari, and Raheem.
Not
Not Raheem from the Furious 5. Still one of my favorite drops.
It is.
The name of the record is No Mercy.
Like a Hulk Hogan movie or something.
I think it was.
Or a Tiny Lister, or both of them. I don't know.
Both of them, yeah. After No Holds Barred and all that.
Yeah.
Although, I don't remember. I try to put
don't
those
know.
things out of my brain.
Are
we ready for track number 1?
Maybe. I think it's going to make John happy.
Is DJ Introduction ready for track number 1?
You never know.
He should be, because it is a 1 minute and 5 second intro entitled Intro. And I wonder if it's going to be on the list.
O blessed Buddha, you all live. I have taught you well. You all delve into the depths of hell and have come back to us unscathed. Yet your followers have.
I thought it was No Holds.
Well, yes.
No Holds Barred. No Mercy was actually
Richard
Gere movie. Yeah,
see?
Richard Gere and Kim Basinger.
I was sitting there trying to think of the movie of the album cover while that intro was playing, and I'm like, what did the album or the movie cover look like? And I'm like, oh yeah, it was a young Richard Gere. Yep. No Mercy.
Yes. Are we ready for track number 2 now that we got the intro? By the way,
Sure.
did DJ Introduction add that to the list yet? We'll have to find out from
We
John.
will. You have to subscribe to the playlist to find out.
Track number 2, Caged in Gorillas. I am subscribed to the playlist. I just don't know if it's been updated yet.
To the streets. The Black Moss. The Black Moss.
Let us take a journey through the mind of a killer.
Black Moss. The Black Moss.
The Black Moss.
A stressed out, aggravated, caged in gorilla.
The Black Moss. The Black Moss.
Let us take a journey through the mind of a killer.
I think we did Mr. 3-2.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Spotify is being dumb, so DJ Introduction is trying to update it. But
it happens.
He does approve of the track being added. So good for that. Track number 3, Steppin' with Your Weapon.
That kind of rhymed.
I liked it.
In this world, you gotta be strapped, night sight with the beam. Aggravated monkey come to get you in your dream. The one with the baby D. I mean, it got me tripping. So nigga, lay it down to the grind. Cause my profile Rugas won't stop spitting.
Track number 4, featuring Papa Roo, Paper
Not
Chase.
Papa Woo.
Not Papa Woo. The late great Papa Woo. He passed away recently.
He did.
Oh, it's officially been added.
Nice.
The journey of my life, I know to stay away from shy spots. Right now, it's like I'm trying to run a race in my own world.
Oh no.
Oh no. Track number 5, featuring Daryl Mark Tall, is called Enemy Within.
Any relation to Mark Paul Gosselaar?
I hope not. This feels more like The Quiet Storm than No Mercy. You know?
Yeah.
Track number 6, Marked for Death. Let's see if that
Steven
has a
Seagal.
foreign- It's shitty movie night.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
Netflix. It's stale flicks.
Not for what you've done to me. No. For that, I want to see you suffer. I want to make you taste. Smell it.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if that's on tonight. Have you seen Young Rock?
Yes. I
Funny
record it
show.
every week.
Funny show. I'm digging it. Track number 7, Monk Mentality. And that's not, Tony
Adrian Monk.
Shalhoub.
Yeah.
We both were going there. I went government, you went character.
Yes.
Cause in this world that I'm living in, I'm praying for mine. And if I look into my secrets, it ain't hard to find.
Cause if you really wanna make it, then you gotta believe in everything you wanna do and what you wanna achieve.
In this world.
Sound like a little Snoop in the background there.
Actually, it sounded very much like Warren G, didn't it?
I can hear it. Yeah. Well, I mean, they have the same
It had-
underlying tone.
Had a G thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That background beat. You listen to the G-Funk sound. Track number 8, featuring Kimberly Smith, Jungle Funk. I had that. I'd make sure I take an extra shower.
I used to get that from my boots.
Like that, y'all. Like that, y'all. So what you gonna do? Do you wanna get out? Yeah. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get out?
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Track number 9, Natural Herbs and Spices.
All right, KFC. Here we go.
I want a famous bowl now.
Like the birds fly, my yo fly, don't ask me why. Cause rather than now I'm feeling kinda tired. In the club and you was wrong, I don't want to ride.
My music possesses me, my Buddha caresses me. Nature's way you're blessing me, they both got the best of me.
My Buddha caresses me.
Track number 10, every doctor I've ever worked with, God Complex.
You know, you want them to have it, though.
When someone goes into that chapel and they fall on
To a certain extent, yes.
Yes.
God that their wife,
I mean, maybe not you because you work with them, but
that their daughter doesn't bleed to death, or that their mother doesn't suffer acute neural trauma from post-operative shock, who do you think they're praying to? I have an MD from Harvard. I have been awarded citations from 7 different medical boards in New England. You ask me if I have a God complex? Let me tell you something. I am God.
Fuck these motherfuckers in these high-ass places, cause they don't give a damn about us and what we face.
All right, that was Charlie Sheen.
yes.
Was that from Wall Street?
Um,
I'm gonna have to IMDb.
I don't
that.
know.
I'll have to find out.
Not
as we
Sheen,
play.
Baldwin. It was
that-
Yep. It was Alec Baldwin. I'm trying to think.
Was it Alec Baldwin? Because it sounded like Charlie Sheen. I don't watch a lot of either one of their movies. We'll play the next track and I'll IMDb it, and I'm sure I'll find it.
Yeah, there's John. John says it was Alec Baldwin.
Track number 11 would be the title track. The Richard Gere, Kim Basinger movie, No Mercy.
You can't fuck with the Black Monk style. You can't fuck with the Black Monk style.
From the ruins up to bed on into our iron temple doors, you can hear the roars of aggravated monks getting drunk, placing the skunk drunk with jungle funk, aiming to kill off the opposition. opposition. Be ready for damn near any mission. Bring it here.
I want to say the movie was called Malice or something like that.
Malice. That's what it
Oh,
was.
it was. That's what it.
Malice.
John says the same thing. I'm glad that he's on a
Alec-
delay and I got to think of it before he did.
Alec Baldwin is Dr. Jed Hill. Well, a lot of big names in that movie. I'm surprised I haven't seen it. Alec Baldwin, Nicole Kidman, Bill Pullman. A lot of big names. George C. Scott, who I just saw in the remake of 12 Angry Men not too terribly long ago, which was an excellent remake. Anyway, back
Story about a
to
doctor named Jed. What?
track number 12, featuring Endo and Makisha. And this was not a Charlie Sheen, but Emilio Estevez movie,
Yes.
Young Guns.
And you also made a Warren G reference earlier.
I did.
Tell me how that ties.
Got young and dope, 10-year-old young grasshopper Makisha was hiding here.
Motherfucker, booyah, bang. Guess who back up in it, making trouble, leaving them puzzle me and my young squad in the huddle, ready for battle. Oh, you up the creek without a battle. If ever we let the 45 rattle, let it rattle. Now,
Let it rattle.
Second generation coming with me at all times, busting them motherfuckers under 50, doing it well.
I'll tell you how that's related.
Ah.
The beginning of Regulators came from Young Guns.
Young Guns, yes, it did.
So that's how that's related. And I didn't even see Young Guns, and I knew that. Track number 13, final track on the record, Grim Reaper. That's not Don't Fear the Reaper. There's no cowbell.
Most important thing in doing business is good manners. I really don't think it would be proper for us to have to go into your neighborhood to solve our problem. You understand?
Nigga, you're fucking with the Grim Reaper. Overnight creeper, psychopath on a mission with the big street sweeper going no knee. Feeling like the whole fucking world trying to do me. Coming fresh up out of Spielberg script from a movie. When we got to hurry up and bring forth terror. See, we living in the days of...
And that is your one and done for episode 370. No Mercy by Black Monks. And no singles released, but there was charting action.
Was there?
One chart. The album charted on the U.S. top R&B hip-hop albums at number 74.
It's on the chart.
So it's on the chart. Doesn't have to be huge, but it is there. Oh, Charlie Sheen was also in Young Guns. Another movie I didn't see. I knew the Regulators part. That's the only part of that movie I know. And that John Bon Jovi recorded a really shitty song for it. Was it Blaze of Glory or something like that?
Yeah.
All
He's
right.
going down.
Record of the week. Huh?
He's going down.
He is.
Yeah,
Record
Blaze-
of the week time.
Yes.
Which means it's time to reveal our new artist of the month, because that's what we do on the first week of every month.
We
Our
do
record
on
of the week.
most months.
Our record of the week will be by our new artist of the month. And this record of the week came to us February 29th of 2000. It's a leap day release.
It is. And if it were not, it would be the first day of the Marcha.
Marcha. Running 70 minutes and 1 second. Got to get that 1 second.
Well, you have to.
It's on Mo Wax and Quantum Projects Records.
Not less
Produced
wax.
Not
but
less
Mo
wax.
Wax.
And not Les Nessman either.
No.
Produced by Chief Excel, Lyrics Born, and DJ Shadow. The record of the week for episode 370 by your new artist of the month for March of 2021. The American hip hop duo Blackalicious, which is the rappers Gift of Gab and DJ producer XL. And the name of this record is Nia, like Nia Long.
Yes.
This is the debut album by Blackalicious. And it has, let me see the track listing here. 70 minutes long. It's probably got a pretty decent track listing. I got 19.
As do I.
Excellent. DJ Introduction's not going to like this one.
He can't like them all.
Well, he's not going to like this one. There's no intro on this. Track number 1 featuring Aaron Anova, Searching.
Searching.
Searching for everything already there, for every thought already known, for everything that ever was, is, and will be. Struggling.
Track number 2, The Fabulous Ones.
Sounds like a wrestling stable.
It was a wrestling tag team. Steve Kern and Stan Lane.
Turn the alphabet to calculus and flow swiftly. See the matter of the fact is I'm so gifted. Do payer, you do say I'll be at it. Tell I'm more than rhyming in the two-payer. A true player who moves layers of earth children. You officially are riding with the Crusaders. Check it. I'll go Hawaiian on an island in a fat teepee. Then down to Thailand for some dining in a black three-piece. I'm in a
A fat teepee.
Track number 3, featuring Lyrics Born, Do This My Way.
I'll be the first ever Asian astronaut, blasting off, casting off the ties that bind like a smashed guitar. Rode a mastodon out Jurassic Park, chased by a fan in a Tyrannosaur mask.
That sounds like if Bill Withers was a rapper.
Dude, there's so much about this group that I like, and it's not one of those bands that I talk about much because there's so many hip hop groups that I like. Of course, you know, there's this group called Gangstar that I like. So like so many other ones overshadow, but I love this album so much, and it doesn't get enough recognition from me. I don't know where it ranks in the world with people, but I do not recognize this album enough when I'm talking with other people.
No,
which is why I decided to make them artists of the month. So
I like it. And stylistically, that one had a very Arrested Development, Diggable Planets feel to it.
Yep.
Track number 4, Deception.
Money changer.
This is a story of a kid, his name is Cisco, who made more money than the counter money Crisco. He lived a lavish style of life, fast money, women, cars, and he liked
Track number 4?
5.
I just lost my screen for a second. There it is, track number 5, because that was Deception. Track number 5, A to G.
Not friend of the show, AG.
No, completely different.
We're going to learn to hear words with vowel A sound. Listen with care.
I'll be the analog arsonist, aiming at your arteries, all seeing abstract, analyze everything, adding on, absolutely abolishing.
Track number 6, Cliffhanger. Track number 7, Shallow Days. Sounds like something that the Bee Gees would sing about.
I'll just keep moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, I'll just keep moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. Time and time, a brother asked why the rhyme is not laced with the gangster touch. I said simply because I don't live that way, but still kicking them rhymes, it's rugged and rough. But that won't sell, cause you gotta keep it real. So that
Track number 8 features Nikki Giovanni and Aaron Anova. It's called Ego Trip by Nikki Giovanni. They had to put that last part in there.
Yes.
I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I designed a pyramid so tough that a star that only glows every 100 years falls into the center, giving divine, perfect light. I am bad. I sat on the throne drinking nectar with Allah. I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My oldest daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the Nile. I am a beautiful woman. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert.
There's a lot of talking on that one. Track number 9. You didn't know that, though.
Here we go again, I'll lend a vocal to your dome. Help the MC find his way home. Wake up in the morning with the microphone down. Step up in the room, puff off the homegrown.
You didn't know that, though.
No. Well, I did because I've listened to the album. So.
Track number 10 featuring Aaron Anova and Latif would be I Would Like, If I May. If I may.
Take me.
I had to do it.
Yes.
Sounds like the beginning of Watermelon Sugar.
Okay.
Harry Styles joint.
That's why I don't know it then.
I have a 17-year-old daughter.
You do.
Here we go again. Slip into my conscious, come along and take in a story about a battle in his corner, Satan. Cunning, baffling, and jumping into half the drink, and suddenly disasters and catastrophe enacting.
Track number 11, Dream Seasons.
Season of all the dreams that you're dreaming of. Troubled times that are easing up. In a world full of peace and love. All the souls that are reaching up. Just a song of time easing up.
Doom, doom, doom.
Track number 12, Trouble, subtitled Eve of Destruction.
MCs are in. Ripping in the shit soul, get you on your tiptoes. Drama, drop, stomping all up in your zip code.
Track number 13 featuring Latif,
Yes.
Smithsonian Institute of Rhyme.
Now if you want some best
come with the gun. You can't fuck with the tongue or the way the song is sung by the cheap and black delicious. We keep it fat delicious. Completing graduations. So keep it rapping, listen. You can't be idle, your best come trifle, but even with the rifle, your style against stifle. Quit even black delicious.
Blagalicious.
Blagalicious. Track number 14, featuring Aaron Anova once again, As the World Turns.
I thought I would talk about today for your consideration as the world turns. As the world turns. And reading all of these scriptures about the world, I find out that the world does turn.
As the world keeps moving, we live these days. Dollar bill done drove the whole world crazy. While sitting on the porch, getting behind your place, to never hesitate a moment to enhance my phrase. Since I hear that escape, I take my
Track number 15, Reanimation.
Yes, they get. Can they get your motor on the left? Mac rap verbally pimp. Relation of the rhythm with my signature. It's the chief. Tearing up the drum and bringing heat. Rock shock under his beat. Legend on your local middle street corner. The chief.
Eyes in my mind, pulse signs in my rhymes. Lines are inclined, shine, dying in my shrine.
Track number 16, not even sure if it's a word. Beyonder.
That's further than beyond.
Is it?
Yes.
About 4 inches, right?
Melodies, melody felonies. Heavenly, heavenly, make it feel like the 70s. Steadily ready for beat, have ahead of me. Ask ahead and believe that, and let it be. Checking my recipes, sprinkle with sesame. Smother with ketchup and green pepper rotisserie. Sizzling, this will be served, moon is glistening. Me and my missus sitting, cooling in Sicily. Dish of the evil Sicilian fricassee. This is your piece, my sweet tasty, isn't he? Pastry with the drink, look at his fistling.
Track number 17, Making Progress.
As we are doing here.
As we are.
We keep it balanced in upon a new uncharted path. Expressing what we see and how we comprehend the math. So there's enough for everyone, we gotta make it last. We gotta make it last.
As I embark on life's journey from the point where I'm at. Peace to everyone I know and who I go way back with. Every pip, every match, every gangster.
Some of my favorite songs on here. And I don't know if it's because of the music that's that's running through it. I don't know what it is, but I like that one a
No,
lot.
that one's catchy. Yeah. Track number 18, Sleep. Never get enough of that.
Sleep.
Hazy days go to nights, we turn it on and on, on and on, on and on. The eye in the sky that don't lie, you watching all of y'all, all of y'all, all of y'all.
Track number 19, final track on the record. Once again, featuring Aaron Anova. It's called Finding.
Actors in it.
It's working. Gotta keep on pushing. Gotta keep on scratching and hustling. Struggling on. Do it now, cause it ain't that long till it's gone. Ain't no time like the present to avoid a turn that's wrong. Remember, it ain't a sprint, it's a marathon. Our ancestors shoulders we stand upon. That's how you know in your soul, your self-control.
Why does it seem like this Aaron Anova is trying to be the ladybug mecca of
the
this group?
non-diggable one?
Yes, the non-diggable one. It just that's the first thing I picked up on.
Undiggable.
That is the record of the week. Nia by Blackalicious, your artist of the month for March of 2021.
The March.
And Marcha. And there's charting action on this one, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. No singles again, but 2 album charts. One I've never heard of before.
Really?
The U.S. Heat Seekers albums, we've heard of that.
We know that
Peaked
one,
at
yep.
number 50. The U.S. Independent Albums chart.
Huh.
Never heard of that.
No, I like that.
Peaked at number 29. So that is your record of the week. Nia by Black Alicious, your artist of the month. We will remind you that your one and done was, as I go back here, Black Monks with No Mercy. And the artist of the month, Black Alicious. So go find them on Spotify or wherever and do your streaming thing.
Yes, we have Black Monks and Black Alicious.
And we just finished Black History Month. So
we did.
We're a little late to the party on that.
Aren't we always?
It is time for our final break of the evening. And when we come back, Bill will read some lyrics. We'll have a fresh flicks discussion about the movie Disorderlies. And then we'll put a bow on episode 370. Mr. Throwback Thursday coming right back at you.
370. All right, let me pull up a drop.
I like them drops. I like them drops.
I like Sody Pops.
I like Sody Pops.
I like Soda Popinski.
I used to
Formerly
beat him
known
regularly.
as Vodka Drunkinski.
Yes. On the arcade game, yes. Vodka Drunkinski.
Useless video game trivia. How about...
With all the money we spent at the frickin' arcade.
Yeah.
Nothing useless about that.
Wasted youth, is that what they say?
It wasn't a waste. We enjoyed it.
We did. Right, so I haven't drop ready. Do I have our branding thing that's got our... Oh, yeah. I'm forgetting. We need that on the screen. God, I'm sucking. I do have URL in there. Okay. So let's kick this drop with a Shri. Who's your mama?
This is Raheem from the Furious Five, and you're listening to my boys Jamie and Bill on Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Flash 2 times.
But it starts with Bill.
Bill has Preston. It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right, left to right. Words together as a sentence. Take Tylenol for any headache. Might offer any cramps.
Most people don't listen to the Lord, but they should.
Welcome to Bill Reads Lyrics.
Welcome back to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 370. It is indeed time for Bill Reads Lyrics.
It is.
And I'm a little scared because
Why
I gave away
ever?
the secret of what makes me break last week, and I'm sure you're probably going to try to capitalize on it.
I would never, ever do such a thing.
Oh, I would in a heartbeat.
I couldn't find a really good one in the time.
So
that I
you
had.
didn't. It's not that you didn't try. You just.
I didn't say that. I said I
succeed
wouldn't
this
do
week.
that.
And I'm interpreting it as you would do it. You just weren't successful finding a good one this week. But next week, all bets are off.
Yeah, when I have a little more time, because as you know, I was busy with other things, and I got behind, and you didn't get show notes until late last night, early this morning, but.
Yeah, that's funny because I said that. I was like, oh, I thought we were just going to ad lib tonight.
Which
Which 90% of what we do is ad lib anyway, because who the hell would have thought we would talk about Richard Gere and Hulk Hogan and Tiny Lister as much as we did tonight?
Yeah. Or Demarcha.
Well, that I figured because you do this every year when this month rolls around.
But this is time in show when we make Bill read lyrics.
And Bill has just finished his coffee, so that is
and
good.
made himself blurry again. Slowly. Slow and steady wins the race.
Focus. Focus. Focus.
Focus. Yay.
Better?
Much. So, what I will do is I will send you the lyrics through the private chisette.
As you usually do. And then
Yep.
look, they just have arrived.
Ta-da.
Oh, we haven't seen this one in a long time.
No. And what we are going to do, tasty, is verse 1. It's not often I get to throw that in actually during the show.
That was funny.
We're going to do
Okay.
verse 1,
Yes.
and we're going to do it with no type of ado.
We never do.
Now, Sesame Street, Grover Stiley, whether nearer or further. We'll cue the motherfucking piano.
I'm representing for the bitches. All eyes on your riches. No time for the little dicks. You see, the bigger the dick, the bigger the bank, the bigger the Benz, the better the chance to get close to his rich friends. I'm going after the big man. My G-string make his dick stand. Make it quick, then slow head by the nightstand like lightning. I want a nickel back with a wedding ring. Bank accounts in the Philippines, blank note to take everything. See, I fuck him in the living room while his children ain't home. I make him eat it while my period on. A little nasty hoe. Red bone, but a classy hoe. Young, jazzy hoe, and don't be scared. If you're curious, just ask me, hoes. And yes, dick sucking comes quite natural because I'm the baddest bitch. What?
I do sound like a very assertive lady. I'm a woman who knows what I want.
I'm actually shocked you didn't do that in the middle of the lyrics.
I wouldn't do that to lyrics.
I was waiting for it.
I would not ruin the lyrics by throwing that in there.
Have you tried turning Bill off and back on again? Doesn't work. I've tried it. It's something with this camera.
Yes.
And probably the
what?
lights. Probably the lights I have in here too.
Possibly.
But yeah, that was Bill Reed's lyrics. Trina.
Yes.
The baddest bitch.
Or
We
so
did
she says.
We did Trina a long time ago.
I think so, yeah.
So we have a Fresh Flicks movie to talk about.
Oh, you know what that means? I get to
You
play
get
your
one of
favorite.
your favorite
intro.
bumps.
So let's do that.
I do like this one.
All right. Well, then let's let everybody else enjoy it too.
You gotta be kidding. This is a dirty movie.
No. This is the movie that Monica was here. All kinds of couples are here.
Sure about that?
Rick, perp, would you bust before? Oh, I'm a perp? Oh, you see a young brother in the back, so automatically I'm a perp? Look at my top.
Y'all mind fuck up, man. This the people from the fucking Census Bureau. What? People from the Census Bureau.
My friend, white serious? Yeah, I'm serious.
Conditions are over there, right? You gotta come back next week. Then we can work something out, all right?
Box.
Why don't you go home and watch the Late Show, Pop?
Won't you just go home? Test two, baby. D, motherfucker. Learn to speak English first, all right? D.
The Marcha.
I love that drop. I do. So, the Fresh Flicks for February in honor of the passing of Prince Marky D was Disorderlies.
Yes. The Ralph Bellamy classic.
Ralph Bellamy.
Okay, for those of you who've never seen this movie, why? But for those of you who haven't, for those of you who are with us, this movie's just an hour and a half of a good time. That's really all that it is. There's nothing to. There's no substance to this movie.
No, it's just a good time.
Yes, we had a lot of questions when we watched it with the patrons, like. What was the robe budget for this movie? Because everybody was in robes all the time.
The robe budget was whatever we could steal from the hotels.
Man, everybody was wearing robes. The basic premise of the movie is bad guy wants the guy who's going to leave him money to die. And the orderlies that are taking care of him are doing too good a job keeping him alive. So they hired...
Who was it? Anthony Geary was the son?
I think so. And they hire the fat boys who are horrible at their job, at their current orderly position, figuring, the fat boys, they'll just kill them off for me and I won't have to worry about it. So, and then there's a very Three Stooges type ride for an hour and a half where the fat boys take Ralph Bellamy.
Ralph Bellamy.
They take him to the skating rink.
My favorite part of the whole movie is that
fall in the pool.
No, is that Buff can never say Albert. It always comes out Abbott.
Yeah. Well, they take him to the roller rink and he's in a wheelchair.
Yes.
So they're skating and pushing him around what looks like a roller derby rink without the banked corners, because the entire middle is a stage. And this girl, I don't know who she is. I'm surprised John hadn't figured it out yet. She's up there singing while everybody's skating.
That would probably be
does she have a credit?
Let me see. Cool's mother, Buffy's mother. See the full cast.
Yes.
Helen Reddy, the singer, was in this movie.
What?
But it wasn't Helen Reddy that was saying. Helen Reddy was the happy socialite.
John raises a legitimate question of what kind of facility has a cake fridge with a lock on it, which is why the fat boys got fired, because it was the 5th time in 8 days.
The roller rink singer was Laura Hunter.
Okay. So, as John said, and we said that night, what is this not the worst gig? You're going to be booked at the roller rink to stand in the middle and sing. And I said that night, I said, you feel bad for this girl because, she's like, hey, you're going to be performing in front of all these people. So, and then Gail's husband, Brian, said, yeah, how do you think Ralph Bellamy felt when he told me he's going to be in a movie with the Fat Boys?
Ralph Bellamy said, show me the check.
But trading places.
And as far as the worst gig ever, I emceed a comedy show at the bar at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
And I incorporated it into my welcoming set. Danny McRitchie.
Where you said fuck Jimmy Fallon?
No.
Okay.
Jimmy Fallon whooped my ass. No, we back before Danny now owns the comedy club at Mahoney's. It's called Laugh It Up. And once this COVID shit's over, I can't wait to get back there and see Danny and see some real life comedy. But before that, he had a traveling group where he would go to different bars and stuff. And it was called Smells Like Comedy, which I think is hysterical because what's the point of comedy? To make you laugh so hard you piss your pants. So comedy apparently smells like stale urine.
Okay, player.
And I pointed that out to him and he goes, yeah, okay, I can see it. So you know how Marty's was at the bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
You remember, because you grew up here.
I did.
So we're there, and we actually had about 250 to 300 people in there, which is saying something. They had
it is.
Set up. So I started the show. I emceed the show, and I was like, "Hey, welcome to Smells Like Comedy from Marty's, the bar at the bowling alley." And I saw Danny in the back, and I said, "What the fuck, Dan? Was the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese booked? Why the fuck are we here?"
Yeah.
And I made him spit his drink out, and I knew it was going to be a good night. So,
but the fat boys would not spit out their drink.
Nope.
Yeah.
You have a traveling group and you don't call it the Wilburys. That is copyright infringement, brother.
Details. Are any of them left alive to complain?
We weren't making. I think so.
The guy from ELO.
The only one I remember in the traveling Wilburys was Roy Orbison.
Yeah, wasn't it him?
And Tom Petty, right?
And the guy from ELO. Nobody knows his name. It's like You God or Praz.
You God, Praz.
ELO. And the guy from ELO with the
Fresh Kid Ice. But no, so I know about bad gigs. I will say singing in the middle of the roller rink is probably not one of the best ones.
But it's not like she was just like there in the middle of the rink. It was an elevated stage that took up the whole oval. It was ridiculous. George Harrison was also a Wilbury.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wouldn't know one traveling Wilbury song if I heard it.
They all sound like Roy Orbison and Tom Petty got together and sang a song.
I'm sure they probably do.
Which could be like Roy Orbison and Bob Dylan getting together and singing a song. It's the same thing.
So what else about Disorderlies did we like?
We like everything about Disorderlies.
We like the soundtrack.
Yes. Yeah. Baby,
That's
you're a
for
rich man. Beep, 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 beep. That's one of my favorite songs they did.
Yeah, soundtrack was very good, actually.
They had they all fall in the pool. Everybody at the party falls into the pool because they're trying to lift Albert up with with the lift you out of the pool swing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're lifting him up out of his chair, and everybody falls into the pool. Now, Cool Rock is not a swimmer.
No.
So later on, they're in the pool again, and Cool Rock's got all this scuba gear on. Yes, Kale's right. Nobody drowns. Everybody falls in the pool and splashes around. We can't swim, but nobody drowns. It's like a G.I. Joe episode. Nobody dies. So then at the end of the movie, when it's like, this is what's going on with people now, Cool Rock became a swimming instructor. I was like, I like when they tie everything up like that.
So I love to look at the trivia on IMDb about the movies that we watch.
Mm-hmm.
There are only 2 articles of trivia about this movie.
What was the Fat Boys group's original name?
No.
And what else was Ralph Bellamy in?
Julie K. Smith.
Lifeguard. Yes. Sorry, Gail. He was a lifeguard, not a swimming instructor.
Julie K. Smith is the skinny dipper who goes down the slide.
Okay.
And
that was written by Julie K. Smith's boyfriend.
Julie K. Smith has the distinction of being only one of 4 girls to pose for both Playboy and Penthouse magazine. She's considered the B-movie parody queen.
Really? What's up, Lieutenant Tom? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, this is a new one on me. I had no idea who this was.
No, I thought the B-movie queen was Linnea Quigley.
Was Linnea Quigley, yes.
Yes, but not the B-movie parody queen.
Oh, shit. She's got a tattoo that says, "'Tis better to die on your feet than to have lived on your knees."
Not Linnea Quigley.
No.
This person. Okay.
No, Julie K. Smith. And the second bit of trivia from here, the mansion used in the movie
belonged to Elmer J. Fudd.
Is the Clampett mansion from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Wow. Didn't we sing about a doctor named Jed earlier in the show?
We did, which is why I kind of thought that was funny.
Everything full circle.
Not even intentionally. And you know what else they usually put in here? They usually put like memorable quotes from the movie. There is not, I don't think, a single memorable quote.
Let's make a video in the middle of our movie. Look, there's a video camera over there. Let's do Baby You're a Rich Man.
Crazy credits. During the end credits, fat boys try to spell out disorderlies across their t-shirts by standing together, but can never get it in the right order. So
they are very, very Three Stooges like in this film.
Fat and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
And Cool Rock said, okay. And he got skinny.
Yes. And the other, well, Marky D got skinny too before he passed away.
Yes, but not compared to Cool Rock. I mean, Cool Rock was skinny.
Great quote. I asked for a cheeseburger, one lousy cheeseburger. All they got is filet mignon.
Filet mignon. Yeah.
Cool Rock watching a couple of girls skinny dipping. What do you think? Too skinny. Too damn skinny. You can see their bones and stuff. They look like bicycles. I want a woman that looks like a Cadillac.
Cadillac. Yep.
There were some good quotes.
The research department is checking in and has a message for you.
Oh, for me, huh? Her tattoo is a Zapata quote. You know what? I just saw that myself.
See?
It says the same thing, yeah. Because there's no way. I knew it had to be a different context.
What fun is that?
Huh?
So, but what fun would that be?
Funny. You can, words are fun, man. You can twist them any way you want.
Yeah.
But I saw Disorderlies a long time ago, and
everyone saw it a long time ago. And that's one of the things we talked about is none of us had seen it since the 80s. And it was 2 years after Crush Groove, but it looked like all the fat boys gained like another 100 pounds.
And I didn't see it in the theater. I remember seeing commercials for it. Yep. I don't ever remember seeing it in any of our local theaters to go see.
No, I remember
we had to wait for the VHS release.
Yep.
Now, did you go to Video 2 in Hyde Park, or did you go to the video shop at the end of North Cross Road?
No, I went down to Video 2.
Video 2 in the plaza.
Yes.
Where we originally rented VCRs from.
That's how I had to watch it.
Do you remember when you had to rent the VCRs for the weekend?
Yes. And they were all top loaders.
Yep. And my dad had to hook it up because we didn't know anything about AV stuff. My dad had to hook it all up and everything. The first time we rented a VCR, we rented 3 movies. Dad picked one. My brother picked one. And I picked one. Dad picked First Blood, the original Rambo movie, which was fucking great.
Well, yeah.
My brother, because my parents didn't know what it was about, picked Porky's. Now
that's a fun one to watch with the family.
You want to talk about uncomfortable? Be 12 or 13 and watch Porky's with your parents in the living room.
Good times.
I picked The Making of Michael
Jackson's Thriller.
I wanted to see how they made that freaking video. And I was the only one who watched it. Nobody else had any interest.
No, because everybody else had already watched Porky's and they went to bed.
No, I think I watched it early on a Saturday morning because I couldn't watch the video at night because the video scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
That's fair.
But yeah. Yep. Try watching Porky's with your parents at 14 years old or 13 or 12 or whatever the fuck I was. And oh God. Beulah.
I will take the Kanye on that one.
And pass. All right. So that was your Fresh Flicks for February. We will let you know the date of this month's Fresh Flicks and the movie.
Hopefully, and it will probably be the last Thursday of the month. Probably.
Well, hopefully nobody passes away and we don't have to switch our movie up.
Yes. And no, John, it will not be Body Rock.
It will not be Body Rock. We have a couple of them that we talked about.
House Party is on the list.
I think New Jack City, I think, is still on the list because we had an episode called Pookie Face.
We did forever ago.
What else did we talk about? There were a couple of other ones.
Yeah, no, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Body Rock will make its way in there.
Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Yeah.
And I think I'm going to force everyone to watch Rappin' if I can find it.
Rappin'.
Mario Van Peebles. Ooh.
No ice hockey night, huh?
For Fresh
I'll
Flicks.
have to see for Fresh Flicks. I don't know if I'm working every Thursday. Like I said, we're so shorthanded as far as.
So it is potentially the 25th.
Potentially the 25th. We'll go with that. Let me just see something quick. I may be able to take a look-see and find out whether or not.
If you see something, say something.
If you see something, say something. Yes, that's the way that goes. Calendar. Hello, calendar.
And if you're on the 25th, we can back it up to Woo Wednesday and do it on the 24th.
As of right now, I do not have a game Thursday the 25th. I have one the night before.
Put it on your schedule.
So
in your Google Calendar.
Oh, you're going to make me miss a fucking Ranger game, but that's okay. What time do we usually start them? 8 o'clock?
We usually start at 7.
Okay, so I will put it on for 7. So Fresh, I didn't even know what movie to put for it, but Fresh Flicks
Don't know yet.
is now 7, and I will say I'm not available that night because you know what? I need a break from time to time too. So
that's not a Monday.
We'll say 7 to 9.
Yeah, because none of our movies should run longer than 2 hours.
No. They're usually about between an hour and a half and an hour and 45.
Yeah.
So, and we'll put that on the Mr. Throwback Thursday calendar and save there.
Ta-da!
So as of right now, I'm penciled in for the 25th.
Nice. As am I.
See, Gail, you have facilitated this.
Yeah, and hopefully Gail and Brian and John and Sarah and any other patrons who want to join us.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you are not a patron, you should become
Very
one.
easy to become one, and we're going to tell you how in about a minute and a half when we start.
Yes, because as you can see, I have switched hats.
You have switched hats.
And you can see through this one.
So that means I must switch from Bill to Phil.
Yes, you should go from Bill to Phil.
Well, and I guess that's what I'm going to do.
Then take us home.
You see this mug right here?
Or lose us forever.
This mug was filled with Death Wish coffee. This entire show, as always, fueled by Death, the world's strongest coffee, Death Wish Coffee. You find them on Facebook, Twitter, or at deathwishcoffee.com. Use the code THROWBACK and save 10% off your order.
Yes.
We also want you to not forget about Def Rugs. We mentioned Fox earlier. Marshall Fox and Eric Sermon bring you Def Rugs at defrugs.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Def Rugs. High quality, handmade, hip hop themed rugs. Very comfortable, very cool. Everybody should have one. Heather Lent up in Schenectady, New York has the Bittersweet Candy Company. She makes candy and chocolate that is handmade, small batch, different, and
delicious.
Check them out on Facebook and order at bittersweetcandy.com. Use our code THROWBACK. Save 10% off your order. Pumice Team Mendola has Melted Mics at meltedmics.com, abbreviated MLTDMICS.com. High quality hip-hop themed t-shirts and masks and other things like that that'll make you laugh, make you think, and get people talking. Go to meltedmics.com, order your merchandise, use the code Mr. Throwback Thursday, save 10% off your order there. Ray's energy drink from Rep Sports is available by going to the Friends of the Show page on MrThrowbackThursday.com, clicking Friends of the Show, and ordering Ray's energy drink. Make
save
sure
you some
do
money.
that. Pop in the code THROWBACK and you save 15% off your order.
Yeah,
Not 10.
yeah. No.
15. It's the biggest discount we get.
Yes.
And finally, the geek shall inherit the earth. Etsy.com/shop/geek like you. You can find Mr. Throwback Thursday themed stuff. You can find pop culture themed stuff. You can find anything from the sick, twisted mind of Mr. Throwback Thursday and his wife, Mrs. Throwback Thursday, and all your proceeds are greatly appreciated. They work very, very hard on that stuff, and it's very good stuff. So geek like you, the geek shall inherit the earth.
Yes.
Social media. Don't forget to visit us at MrThrowbackThursday.com. We talked about that when we talked about Raise Energy. That is the home for the show. You can go there. You can click on that little microphone. Leave us a message. It's called Hit Us Up.
Yes.
We'll play your message online. You can basically say whatever you want. You can say, I think that record you did last week sucked. I think Bill sucks at reading lyrics, and Jamie should do it one week. I think... And Jimmy says, no. You can say, even if you just want to say jackass or just want to say hi, just click that microphone. Yeah. Give us a shout. We appreciate every ounce of input we get. Your input helps our output. We've been saying that for 7 years. As part of the social media network, we have Twitter feeds at Mr. TBT, the underscore Mr. underscore TBT, I should say, and Bill underscore Mr. underscore TBT, which is also my Instagram handle. Jamie's Instagram handle is Mr. Throwback Thursday. And there is a Bill Reads Lyrics Instagram handle at Bill Reads Lyrics, all right together.
That's of course down there.
Of course, we have the Facebook page. You can always check that out. You can always check us out every Thursday morning on Fresh Radio at itsfreshradio.com. Run by the veritable DJ B, the hardest working turntablist in the world, at Beezus the DJ on Twitter. You can send us email if you like at MrThrowbackThursday@gmail.com if you are so inclined. Shout out time.
Yay.
Shout outs to Gail Dunmeyer, who just facilitated Bill to be on Fresh Flicks for this one. Manny Baez, Sarah Henderson, John Henderson, Hugo Gonzalez, Sanket Patel, Teresa Lynn Simple Luxuries at teresalins.com, Kat Malark, Clay Arsenault, Fred Diedrich, Jason Eckert, Jennifer Buchanan, the Shrieking Warrior, Jacob O'Neill, Jason Heath, and Paulie Tibbert. They get mentioned every week because they got five on it.
Or more.
If you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com. You can get your name announced every week the same way they just did. It's very, very simple to do. Oh, yes, we got to mention Jamie is modeling the new t-shirt this week. It's on Teespring. It is the new roll call t-shirt. Jamie and Bill and Triple H and Woo News, and there is a Mr. TBT logo on the back of it.
There is.
Available in t-shirts and sweatshirts. I have one of each coming because, you know, it gets cold up here in the winter.
Bitterly cold outside.
I couldn't even wear my original TBT Posse sweatshirt tonight because Janelle has it on out there. So don't forget to order that. Let's see. Where'd we leave off? We left off at, we did the shout outs.
Yep.
Don't forget our friends in the industry. As always, check out the Kings of Sport. That's Brother Nate Milton and Marcus Vanderberg with sports and pop culture references. Anthony, Imran, and Rugboy, the Felty American over at the Jock and Nerd podcast. Guess who's talking with Mr. Long, the Search Says podcast with MC Search. Check out our friend Talking Ty on her webpage at brooklyntynyc.com. Head over, join Real Rap for the Old School Hip Hop Heads on Facebook. Join Home of the TBT Posse on Facebook. All sorts of stuff being shared over there. If you're in the Death Wish community, there's all sorts of Death Wish things you can join as well. And they usually intermingle amongst each other.
Yes, they do.
We mentioned the hardest working turntablist in the world, DJ B, at itsfreshradio.com. You can also get the Fresh Radio app for your phones. It's available on every platform that there is.
They have an Alexa, what's it called? The routine? I think they call them routines on there.
Okay.
I don't know, but you can you can set up Alexa to listen to you and play Fresh Radio when you tell her to.
Very nice. Kind of like you have set up to say, play the greatest podcast in the world, and it plays us.
Yes.
So you know where to find us. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Your input helps our output. Please leave us reviews. Don't leave us a 1-star review and not put your name on it. One jackass did that. And we still
said nothing.
So fuck that guy. He's our forever fuck fill in the blank. So, as I said, you know where to find us. Thank you all very much for joining us. We will see you next week for episode 371. But until then, be safe, wear your masks, wash your hands,
wash your butt,
get the vaccine if you get an opportunity to, and most importantly, keep it classic. And always remember,
new school stale, old school fresh.